Hi everybody, my name is David. Thank you for watching today. Today's my question and answer videos where I'm answering all your guys' questions from last Monday. And if you have any questions today, go down below into the comments section, ask me anything you want. I'll answer them next Monday, okay? Every single Monday. All I ask is you guys, please leave your locations. A lot of us want to know where you're from, where you're at, so we know that we're not alone. And there's narcissists everywhere, not everywhere, but they reach everywhere. And people in every country are affected by them and are also victims, so you're not alone, okay? Thank you. So let's get started with the first question. Oh, and by the way, hopefully you saw my video yesterday and you noticed that the channel name has changed to Damar's Coaching. I explained why in yesterday's video. So if you're interested in to know why, go ahead and please watch that. And I just want to say thank you all for being with me when it was the last name, and thank you for being with me when it's this name. Hope you guys like it and approve. It's just a better, healthier way to go, and it's all part of my journey, so thank you. So let's get started. First question is from Pineapple in London. Hi. Thank you so much for your work. Your videos have been incredibly helpful. Thank you. Could you please talk a little bit about the gray rock technique? I have been dealing with an NPD, BPD on and off for 13 years now, and although it seems like I'm finally rid of him, I think there is a very high chance he will try to get back in touch. He's been hoovering me relentlessly for years, and I'm very scared that he will find a way to get back in touch because he's been incredibly clever with it so far. Thank you kindly. Well, thank you very much. So you don't need to be worried about gray rock method at all, because this is somebody not in your life from your past, and you don't have to deal with this person at all. And I know you say he's been tricky. The only thing I can imagine is he's tricking you by like calling you with a different phone number and you answer. Well, hang up. And that's all I'm going to tell you. I'll tell you kind of what gray rock method is, gray rock technique. But there's no reason to deal with him anymore. You don't owe him anything. No apologies, no excuses, no conversations, no talk about the past, reminisce, get together, coffee. You don't have to tell him why you don't want to. It's just kunk. Okay? And I know that might sound hard, but if I tell you to do that, maybe you will think that it's okay. If it's hard, I mean, it seems like it's hard to deal with him. If it wasn't hard to deal with him, then you wouldn't have to hang up with him, right? If it wasn't hard for you to deal with, and you're asking me how to deal with him, you don't have to deal with him. If he calls from a different number, that's horrible. Best thing to do, though, every time is just hang up. Because the more you talk to him, the more you engage with him at all, the chances are he's going to do it again. No matter what you say, no matter what he says, no matter what you agree on, okay? So it's just, trust me, if this is hard for you, then I'm telling you it's okay. Hang up, okay? Hope that makes sense. Gray rock technique is as simple as it sounds. It's about someone talking to a rock. You can't communicate with a rock. You can't get anything from a rock. You can't make a rock cry and happy and laugh, or sad and depressed and anxious, feel crazy, do anything for you. It's just a rock, no matter what you do to it. So no matter what whatever this person does to you, not you, not now. But if you needed gray rock technique, what it's used for is someone when you have to deal with them. You have a week left before you make your escape from your narcissist that you live with, your husband or wife. So you don't want to rock the boat. You don't want to, nothing. You just, gray rock technique would be something more used at the workplace with somebody you don't want to deal with. It's not giving them anything they want, because what they want is to change your mood and your emotions so they feel more in control, because they feel out of control. They don't like how they feel. They want to make you feel that way or worse or better and everything. And it just makes them, it's how they believe they're meeting their emotional needs. So we don't give them anything. It's minimal as possible. So gray rock technique, if you don't want a problem, it may not always be the best. It's up. You have to suit it to what's the scenario. And it always comes down to, what do you want? So if you don't want a problem with someone, but you have to deal with them, it may not be the best idea to always just ignore them and they, no matter what they start saying, you keep ignoring them. It's just okay, and move on. No thanks, move on. It's not this huge explanation, emotional reaction, nothing. That's it, okay? Gray rock. Hope that makes sense. Ask more if you don't understand, but please stay away from this person, okay? Okay, next question is from Julie from Missouri. Hello, Julie. What advice would you give a young mother trying to co-parent with a sociopath? But you guys are now split apart. He wants her back and obviously very self-serving. Even when the kids are concerned, he has been in prison, on parole, possibility looms. He could always go back. They are not divorced yet. I don't know who that is. They're not divorced yet. His current wife or something. He is insisting on a 50-50 arrangement, but he's not even getting the kids every weekend. He wants to have his fun every other weekend. This is my daughter and grandkids. Gotcha. You're the grandmother, Julie. And your daughter's with this guy. They're not quite divorced yet. You want to give... Okay, well, way more than I could tell you right now. Okay, I've talked about this a little more in a lot of my videos. There's a whole bunch to do. Therapy, professionals, have a lawyer so that that your daughter knows her rights. Fight this person, not head on, but around him. No communication with him. She needs to get this divorce processed. She needs to separate. I hope she's separated from him. He might go back to jail and stuff like this. Look, put the fight into trying to get full custody of the children. Whatever the court decides, honor it, be smart, document everything he does, everything. She should only communicate with him via email. Manipulators want to see you in person, or at least talk on the phone, or at least text, email last, It's about... He wants control, so tell your daughter not to allow him to have control. So no communication. We don't just abide by everything he says and wants. We don't react to his threats. If you need to call the police, she needs to be able to call the police for things. You need to get a restraining order, move towards a restraining order. Basically, get professionals to help you with this. Get a lawyer. And get therapy for them, for the children especially. This is extra tough for the children, so get them in some kind of therapy, okay? But we don't overcompensate. We fulfill our role as the mother, and you love them the same, you reward them the same, you punish them the same. We don't make excuses and overcompensate and say, no, it's okay, Johnny did something bad because Johnny was, had a bad week with his father. I understand you want to be a little easier on Johnny, but Johnny needs to know what's right and wrong and repercussions to his actions. And Johnny needs to be loved and nurtured the whole time, okay? Hope that makes sense. But really, this is jobs for professionals to help, okay? Thank you for asking. I'm glad you're concerned. They're all lucky they have a grandmother that cares. Jess. I'm so sorry, I forgot where you're from. But hello, Jess, again. I was asking my previous Monday question for my children. My daughter is now 17, my son is 22. While I love and care for both of them with all my heart, I never learned how to parent in a healthy way because of my toxic upbringing. Moving forward, I'm watching your video series on CPTSD while guiding them to the steps they need to heal. Good. I'm also continuing to heal myself. It will be a lifelong process, I'm sure. This is a journey, and I truly believe this journey never stops. Along those lines, I read a study that indicated trauma can be inherited genetically through the DNA chain. Some of my family members were imprisoned in concentration camps in Germany, so I wondered if perhaps some of my and my children's anxiety and trauma come for this. I tend to think that trauma affects behavior and that behavior model passes on from generation to generation, but the study talks about the impact that trauma has on the DNA strands. I would appreciate hearing your thoughts on this if you have any. Well, I'm not a doctor, scientist, or anything like this, and I'm not very knowledgeable about this, so I can't really talk about it too much, except maybe give the one thing that just comes to mind that I would just say that we're the most violent animals in the world, and we come from trauma. We've evolved with trauma, right? And but I wouldn't know if this is wrong, but I think what's important, Jess, is to worry about any trauma in your child's childhood that needs to be addressed and talked about, and things like this, okay? And that's all you can do, right? Whatever you have, whatever it is, that's all you can do and deal with and work with. And just don't be too worried about it. They got a mother that loves them very much, and that's why we become resilient. What would be sad, what would be even way more worse and damaging if they didn't have you, Okay, so they're going to be okay, Jess. I'm glad you care. Thanks, Mom. But yeah, keep educating, keep informing them, and whatever you do, do it with love. Okay? Thanks. Next question is from Shay from California. How do you tell someone they are with a narcissist? Hello, Shay. They might not believe you if they are still getting love bombed, but how do you at least put the idea in their head, and will they realize it eventually without having to endure the entire abuse and recovery cycle? I don't know what will usually happen or what will happen in this case, but usually typically try to understand one thing. Try to understand why she entered this relationship in the beginning. I'm telling you guys, we weren't completely healthy, fine, no problems going on, and we just got totally fooled. I'm making that stance now. So what I'm trying to get at, Shay, is that just like I experienced this, just like a lot of you guys had to experience this, it sounds like she might have to experience this. Now, I'm not definitely telling you not to tell her, but you have to understand something, that if not already, pretty soon, her reality is right here, right? And you're telling her reality is here, right? And she might be denying your reality. And what are you going to do? So what's important always, Shay, is you're a friend. You're there for her. You listen. You tell her the truth, and don't, BS her, and don't sugarcoat, and don't minimize, and don't catastrophize, and don't, listen. Explain to her. But what's important, Shay, is how you feel. So this is going to be stressful. This is going to be hard to watch and endure and feel. And you don't have to, Shay. If it gets too much, you have every right to walk away from this. Okay? It's really important you guys know that we all make our own choices and decisions, and you don't have to pay for them. So you don't have to just put up, you don't have this universal debt that you're there. I'm sorry, guys, but you don't have to be there for a friend no matter what. We don't unconditionally love the whole world. We don't unconditionally love. We unconditionally love our small children. Even when our children go up, you can't just, I love you no matter what. I love you anyways. Like that. And I don't mean like not love them, but it's none of this. You got to have some condition, and the condition should be how you feel. And they don't have to, she doesn't have to be abusing you, but this is hard stuff to watch and see, especially if you've been through it. It's triggering. So what's important, Shay, is how you feel. If you get sick of this, you're tired of this, you have every right to tell her you're tired of it. And I'll tell you right now, the biggest way to make the biggest changes in your life is the absolute loss or fear of loss. And the bigger that loss is, the bigger the change needs to be. And usually that's what happens. I'm telling you. Myself and many other channels on YouTube in this community, we made them because we lost so much. Okay? We made these big changes in our life because they were necessary. They're big experiences. But your friend starts losing friends, starts kind of dawning on them. But you guys know it took a lot to leave, didn't it? Thanks. Hope I helped. Recovery from Mucho Sickos says, sift through the crap. Exactly. Why do we do it? So in my last video, I talked about how these narcissists, it's a big pile of crap that they give us, and we stick around and we try and find all the good parts of them. So we sift through this pile of crap and like, does this smell? Oh yeah, does this smell? No, that's okay. That means they're a good person. We'll accept them now, and we'll accept the whole piece of crap. No, we do it. Well, many reasons. I mean, there's so much, but basically, we try and control our environment instead of controlling ourselves. So we control our environment and people and stuff like this, try to get what we want and need. So you're sifting through the crap, it's like lying to yourself. It's cognitive dissonance. It's saying, how can I make this work? Oh, I found a part that makes me able to stay with them and put up with their whole crap. It's excusing it at its finest. Trying to find excuses that work for you to stay with somebody that you know damn well you shouldn't be with, right? I only see the good things in people. You won't believe how much I've been told that by people that have been horribly abused. Horribly abused. 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. I just try and find the good things in people. Well, we all a lot of times we'll see what we're looking for. Okay? Dawn from New England. Hello, Dawn. I've been hearing about your stalker for a while now and was curious who, what she's about. The first 5 minutes of a long, drawn-out video of hers, I thought maybe I was wrong about you. No, she has major issues. Says she doesn't care, but makes these long, boring, angry videos about you. Who does that? Good luck to you. I don't think she has any intentions of stopping. By the way, I'm from New England. Thanks, Dawn. Thanks for being concerned, and thanks for asking. So basically, who does this? And right, I know it doesn't take long to see how gross it is. And I've talked about this before, but briefly, this is very antisocial. It's very sociopathic. The bottom line is it rubs us all the wrong way. It's really gross to see and watch. And she doesn't understand that it's wrong. The other thing is because these people don't like rules, and they don't think that they should abide by them, and they're above them and can't really understand them, and doesn't get ashamed of their actions. So a lot of times a sociopath will just do some weird behavior and think that it's okay, and they're just like, what? They're not ashamed by it. And that's what this person's doing, and has been doing all year long, and it's just gross to watch. But another thing is sociopaths possess what's called a warrior gene. And a warrior gene has been passed on through evolution, and it served us well when we fought all the time. And we had and experienced lots of trauma. Going back to you, Jess, your question. Look up warrior gene. So she possesses this warrior gene, and it's nice, it's helpful when you're in war. The soldiers around you could drop and die and blow up, and you keep fighting like nothing. Doesn't bother you. Sleep at night. That's great there, but what we're finding out is that it's still active in people if, no matter what they're doing in their life, if they have that gene. So what happens with people that are antisocial, sociopaths, they want to fight. They want to just fight, and their whole life is about fighting with people. Fighting, and they pick fights, they start fights, they make up things. And the biggest is the sociopathic smear campaign. Smear campaigns are antisocial, they're sociopathic, and it triggers their warrior gene. They want to fight. And they also do this, and they step on other people to rise to the top. So this person thinks they're getting to the top of this community by walking all over me and other channels in this community. And We all know that's wrong and gross, and we don't want to fight back, right? But, you know, this person will do whatever it takes to get me to fight. Whatever. Can't wait to see what's next. Thanks for asking, Don. Kat from Tennessee. Hello, Kat. The narc I knew can constantly talk about loyalty, but he was also very concerned about his image. Was he a sociopath or a narc? Is a malignant narc or a sociopath or a psychopath? They fool doctors and scientists. How would I know? That's not enough. I wouldn't know. Sorry. You know, and I don't diagnose people, but if I think I can give you some kind of help to let you know what maybe they might be or something, there's absolutely nothing in here that could tell me about anything about anybody in the world. So I'm sorry I can't help you, Kat. Keep educating yourself and figure it out. You know, if you know they're a narcissist and they have and display antisocial behavior and have no problem with it, if they could launch a smear campaign publicly and slander and libel and harass you and attack you for, you know, the better part of a year and show, you know, no concern about it, doesn't bother them, might be a sociopath. Okay? Thanks, Kat. Mona, don't know where you're from, Mona. Will sociopaths give silent treatment? Absolutely. All sociopaths do is manipulate. That's a great manipulation tactic. Christina from Romania. Hello, Christina. David, what do you think? Is it possible a long-term relationship with a narcissist? I speak about romantic couple relationship, and if yes, how? Yes, it's possible to have a long-term relationship with anyone in the world, I guess, if that's what they want to. Or you could lock them up. You could lock them up and handcuff them and force them. But you want to know if you should be in a long-term relationship, or you want to know, is it possible? Sure. I know people have been abused for decades by one person, and they stayed with them. There's a lot of people out there that will vouch, won't you? There's a lot of people out there that can vouch. Women in their 50s and women in their 60s, maybe even 70s watching, that can tell you, oh, it's possible to have a long-term relationship with a narcissist. They'll tell you all about it. They'll tell you how it went. Christina, you sound like a beautiful person. So be beautiful to yourself and surround yourself with beautiful people. Okay? Not people that only care about themselves and can't love you and don't care about you and toy with this and toy with this and make you wonder about things like this. Does he care? No. Don't do it. Go work on yourself. Okay? Thanks, Christina, and thank you all. That is all the questions for part 1. Please stay tuned for part 2. And if you could, please share this out there to help me and help other people that need the stuff, need the information, okay? Remember what it was like before you got the information? I suffered for years, so let's not let people suffer. Let's let this get out there. Thanks, guys. Love yourself first. See you in part 2. Bye-bye.